When you're going through infertility, you're kind of on a track. You're just driven.
You want to have a baby, you're going to trust your doctor, and if you're under and you don't know what happened, how are you ever going to know?
These are the guys that give you the hope. I feel like it's harmless to have that sort of on a pedestal type thing, but when you have something like this happens to you, that's not what's supposed to happen.
For years, Roger Ian Hardy was one of the most popular fertility specialists in Massachusetts. But there was a problem. A number of women over 3 decades accused him of inappropriate sexual conduct, or worse, first in college and then in his role as their trusted doctor. But despite complaints against him, he only grew more successful.
He was a baby maker. He was making all of these businesses a fortune.
An allegation of rape dates back to the 70s, when Hardy was an undergrad at Princeton University. His victim didn't step forward at the time, but other Princeton students say they told authorities about other cases of Hardy's sexual misconduct. Hardy has consistently denied all allegations against him and insists that he was a victim of misunderstandings and the target of jealous business competitors. Princeton officials say they could not discuss a former student's records without the individual's permission.
I don't remember Roger Hardy. There are very few that I remember well, and he's not one of them.
John Brown was Dean of Student Affairs when Hardy attended Princeton.
Unless a student comes forward with a specific complaint and is willing to basically go on record for that fact, it's very hard for us to take any kind of action or do any kind of investigation on it.
This would be a reoccurring barrier for women who wish to speak out about Hardy, their reticence to go public. Many stayed silent. After Princeton came medical school, his chosen specialty? Gynecology. After stints at Stanford and Harvard, he settled into a lucrative private practice in Massachusetts at the Fertility Centers of New England in Reading. Some feel that his educational pedigree protected him from suspicion.
Dr. Hardy has got a nice resume. Has the names Harvard behind him, Fulbright Scholar, Princeton University, Stanford. So here I am, just one person, nothing. Who are you going to pick?
In 1999, a 30-year-old woman from the suburbs west of Boston sought Hardy's advice about a hormone disorder. She was worried that she would have trouble getting pregnant. We altered her voice to protect her identity.
I felt confident that I was with the right doctor because he came so highly recommended.
During her appointment, Hardy asked how she pleasured herself. Then she said he proceeded to touch her sexually, saying he needed to do so in order to make a diagnosis.
And while I was driving home, my gut said that that was not normal. This just didn't feel right.
She said she consulted multiple experts who did not know of any reasons for a clitoral exam. She contacted the State Board of Registration in Medicine, but stopped short of filing a complaint.
And they said, well, the only way that you can move forward with this is it can become public. I was recently engaged. I didn't really want this to be public. I mean, you come across really stupid, like you're a smart, accomplished, college-educated woman. How did this happen to you?
In 2003, a woman from the North Shore sought help at Fertility Centers of New England after multiple miscarriages. Hardy performed surgery to remove scar tissue from her uterus.
The next morning, I woke up, took a shower because I couldn't take a shower that night, and that's when I noticed there was something really wrong. And I was like, oh my God, and I had my husband come in and I said, look at this.
The woman's clitoral area had been rubbed raw, causing her extreme pain. She sought advice from another fertility doctor.
I asked him about the surgery. Would there be any reason why this would happen? His face went gray. He's like, nothing should be in that area. And right then I was like, oh my God.
She complained to the medical board.
I did write the letter. I did go through with it. And even though I did that, it was like almost like it backfired in the end, because then people were like, are you sure that didn't happen? I mean, who is she? And it didn't do anything. It was just left.
Hardy denied that he did anything inappropriate to the woman, and the medical board didn't discipline him. The board placed her complaint in his file. But it was not over. 9 years later, another patient filed a complaint against Hardy. The board then took a new look at the North Shore woman's letter and opened an investigation that would reach decades back to his years at Princeton. Officials confronted Hardy with the evidence, and then Hardy took action before the board could. The North Shore woman heard about this through a message.
All right, hold on. This is it. All right, so.
This is Tracy Morong and Susan Dye calling from the Board of Registration in Medicine. I wanted to let you know that at today's board meeting, the board voted to accept the resignation of Dr. Hardy. He will no longer be able to practice medicine in Massachusetts or any other state. Thank you again. Bye-bye. End of message.